Good morning. My name is the Reverend Simon Archer, and I am the priest in charge of the parish of Arbury and Castletown. I'm also known as the Isle of Man Vicar. I am going on a bit of a walk today, and I thought I'd bring you along with me. I missed having a video out on Friday. Things have been hectic, which we'll get onto, as we chat on the walk. But where am I? Where am I, you might ask? Well, let's have a look. I'm here. So I'm at Port Erin, and I am just, where am I? Just on Station Road, at the bottom of Station Road, near the beach. I'm going to head down to the route that takes me on the Foillan way, Foillan, and head further down and off there and disappear off the edge of the map. There be dragons. So I'm heading out on a bit of a walk today to see how far I make it. Doesn't mean I'm going to collapse part way through. What it does mean is that I'm going to. I've got a couple of points along the trip where I can go, that's enough, and grab a bus. So I'm going to walk to around the Sound. So probably stop off for something to eat and a coffee there. I'm going to walk along to Port St Mary and past Gansey and then along to Castletown. But at any point on that route I can go, that's enough, because it's about 11 miles, I believe. It's probably one of the longest walks I've done so far since I've been on the island, filming. So I've got my chest, I've remembered it, I've got my chest holder thing so that I can have my hands free. I'm not going to be standing with my arm out for the whole trip, because that would hurt. And I've got lots to talk about, loads of stuff been going on, so it'd be nice to kind of catch up, and you can have a bit of a view along the walk, especially if it's a walk that you're considering. You can do this in sections. The Raad Foillan you can do in sections, but I think a nice little 11-mile trek, if I make it, will be a good one to start us off. I've got some different kit with me today, actually, so just to say. Oh, by the way, this is the museum here at Port Erin, the train museum. So we've got a lot of this sort of rolling stock that people sit on and play on. So what have I got with me? I've got a waist bag. It's a bit more than a fanny pack or bum bag, as we call them. But I just thought I'd try something a bit different. So rather than carrying a big backpack, and that's got all my cooking gear in there, I didn't bring anything to cook. I got my coffee. I didn't pick up any noodles in the end. And I might have to just buy some food at the Sound instead. People getting impatient. There was someone just literally sitting there. Sitting there at the end of a junction, just decided to stop while they thought about what they wanted to do. I don't know. There should be some motorbikes along the way. So at the moment the TT's on, and so there's loads of motorbikes about. Obviously not along nice coastal country walks. However, at the Sound there's bound to be bikes. There'll be loads of bikes down there, I imagine. We might see some along the way, but we won't be seeing any racing today. I'm not sure if I'm going to film any racing. Loads of people film the racing. There's plenty of footage out there. It's not really my thing, but you never know. I might pop out if I feel like it this week. This week is not booked up fully because, when you've got all the racing and things like that going on, it's hard to get around too many places. So generally speaking, people just aren't around or available, or meetings don't happen. People are taking time out to either watch the racing or to get away from the racing. So it's much harder to get anything done this week. So I've got some paperwork to do at home and a few people to visit, but that's about it really. So a bit of a quieter week, which is not a bad thing. Need one every now and again. I'm going to stop filming this introduction now. And then we'll get going on the walk. I'm going to put this into my chest holder, and we'll get going on the walk. Right, so here we go. Let's get moving. Quite a few bikes out. I don't know how I'm going to record this, whether I'm going to try and catch as much footage as possible and give you an actual genuine walk. If I do, because it's probably about 4 hours, I'll break it out into 3 parts. There's no way I'm doing a entire 4-hour video on YouTube. I know I do long ones, but I don't think that's going to be a good idea. Might be a little bit much. It's nice to have your hands free. I haven't used this chest mount for a while, and it's nice to kind of not be thinking about putting the camera down every few minutes to take a photo or something like that, or check my phone. And I mean checking the phone for like emergency messages more than anything else, and I'll be checking my Twitter. Might make some posts along the way. Who knows? I should do a couple of TikToks. So I've brought some bits with me. Got my my lightweight alcohol stove. Because I wanted to make a brew, in case I wanted to make a brew on the way. Oh yeah, today's Port Erin day. Yes. Yeah, so in case I want to make a brew along the way, I can do that. I've got the bits for that. So today's Port Erin day, so they've got a big sort of festival-y type thing going on today. But so it looks like they're setting up some of the stalls for that. That's cool. There'll be some gigs going on, music, like a bit of a fun fairy type thing going on by the looks of things. Stalls. Port Erin Beach. It is beautiful. Is it the nicest beach in the island? I don't know. It's pretty fantastic. Beautiful morning as well. I don't necessarily think it's going to stay, but it's beautiful at the moment. Tie-dye store. Yeah, so I've got a little bit of food and we've got some flapjacks. Got my stuff to make a brew. Got some instant coffee. Morning. Morning. Bit of a light breeze coming off the sea. So we're supposed to be getting quite windy weather later. What is it with TT? It's the second TT. Well, actually, it's not too bad, and they're going to get some racing, I mentioned, done today. So it's not terrible at the moment, but later we have gales coming in. So maybe 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. Bit of a weather warning going on. That's a good place. They'll be open later. The Manx Lobster. You see them about if you like your seafood. Dobro. Dobro, I believe, are known for their donuts, if it's the same Dobro. So we've got these cool little Bushy's cars. I'll show you those. Let's pop over there. I'm never going to get anywhere at this rate, am I? How cool is that? See them driving around the island. That's good too. I didn't realise there was two. I thought it was just one. The Bushy mobiles. one of the local breweries, actually moving back into Castletown for brewing, which is kind of cool. Now, I think the way I need to go, oh, there's a stage, so the Manx Rock stage. Morning. I decided to do this walk last night, and I just kind of went, oh, actually, might be nice to get out. Today is a Monday, so it's my rest day. There's actually a bank holiday on Friday. I haven't actually had the days for my bank holidays off either, so I should really be due about 2 or 3 extra days. But hey, don't really worry about that so much. It's just it's not exactly a 9-to-5 job being a priest, so beautiful. Right. I know I'm gonna overheat soon. Allegedly, I walk up to this car park and then the path goes from there, but we'll see. Not walked this part, the path before. So you can hire out loads of like equipment at Port Erin. So they have like the paddle, the aqua bikes, kayaks and sea kayaks and things like that. There's a paddleboard hire shop. So you get down here as well. So you can hire up quite a lot of bits and bobs to get out on the water. But it's never even in the best weather, it's never horrendously busy. Quite surprising, really. These are interesting buildings, aren't they? I assume they're like little kind of storage, like workspaces for people who work on the boats and things. I don't know. Or would have been. Maybe they're more like almost like a beach hut, but something a little bit more robust. I don't know. Interesting. They do look like they've been used for storage, for fishing and stuff. Right. So things, I'll slowly think. I mean, 4 hours, I've got plenty of things I need to sort of mention, but I'll probably do some quiet spells where I just walk, play a bit of music perhaps in the background. Yeah, my car's broken. So, you know, my old Mark 1 Honda CR-V, surprise, surprise. It was something, I wasn't expecting quite the failure, but I was knowing this particular part needed to be changed at some point. I had a small leak in my power steering, which happens with these. It's quite a common fault of CRVs of this age. You know, 25 years old. They sometimes get the metal piping for the power steering sometimes doesn't needs to be replaced. But it happened to, I had a tiny little bit of a leak when I had it checked out and serviced and things like that, and it was mentioned that I had a bit of a leak. So I was driving the other night to a meeting for La Columcilla, which is St Columba's Day. That's a big event in my parish. And yeah, it decided, instead I turned around in the church car park, put it on full lock, and the whole thing just kind of blew. And because it was the high pressure part, it literally was just firing oil all over the place. Now this looks like the path. Yeah. So, Raad and Foillan. The beginning of the Raad and Foillan for me is clearly going to be going up this scaffolding bit where they're doing some works. Okay. Looks like it's been there a little while, I don't know. So, you get this little bit. I'm just going to show you this little sign here. I won't move right up to it, but basically it says this footpath has been dedicated by the landowner. It's a condition of continued public use that dogs are prohibited. Thank you for your cooperation. So on this part of the Raad and Foillan, no dogs. It doesn't matter if they're on a lead. It's no dogs allowed, and that's because they do keep sheep and things down here, and it's people unfortunately are. There's plenty of responsible owners, but there's a heck of a lot of irresponsible owners as well. You'll see from my last video, the bags of poo that are left on the nice walks. People literally put the poop in a bag, probably because they've been spotted by someone or someone's nearby, and then they just drop the bag on the floor. This is worse than if you just left it, because it doesn't degrade as quickly. Yeah, but also people ignore the rules around dogs being kept on the lead around animals, and every year we get sheep attacks. God, my legs are going to be tired after this, let alone doing 11 miles. Warming up though, warming up. I'm in already. We're climbing. Hope my watch doesn't start harassing me about recording an outdoor walk. In fact, let's do it so it doesn't. Outdoor walk. Ready, set, go. Here we go. Done. Done. Right. Let's go. Yeah, so these areas where dogs aren't supposed to be, this footpath is by bugs galore, by permission, not by any right of way. Oh, rabbits and sheep. And the problem is not just those dog attacks. They worry the sheep. They also can drive the sheep off the edge of cliffs. They can end up injured. And a lot of people don't have the recall they think they do on their dogs. Oh, that's better. There's a lot of small bugs, a lot of small flies around. Hello. Been in for shearing. Always worth keeping an eye out for the dolphins as well. Often around Port Erin. That's just so beautiful. Yeah, I'm always digress. I always get distracted. Yeah, so certain sections of the Raad and Foillan around here, particularly around towards the Sound, are no dogs allowed. Not dogs on leads, and I think that's absolutely fine. Someone else's land you're on, they can have their own rules. They've got reason for it. And however many people say, but I'm a responsible dog owner, I should be allowed to do it. It's like, nope. We're dog owners. And you respect the conditions other people put onto you using their land. Look at this. Beautiful. If you don't like heights, sometimes these walks aren't the ones for you, because although it's not too bad, it can get a bit narrow and a bit hairy. And there isn't like lots of, there's not like a ton of railings along here or anything like that. It's a path by cliffs. Oh yes, so digressing again, what was I going to talk about? I was talking about my car. Power steering pipe blew as I was going to a La Columcillia meeting. The oil from it blew all over my exhaust, which actually meant it made a lot of smoke. I was worried what had gone wrong at first, but then I noticed it was where I'd put my car on full lock, so I guess it was power steering. And then the power steering got really heavy and I was like, yep, there we go. That's what it is. So I've got a guy who's ordered the part, he's going to fit it for me. Car managed to get back to the church car park. I sat there and I come and fix that. Who knows what it's going to cost me? Probably £200-300, I imagine. The part itself isn't too bad, but then there's the labour. Whew. So we'll get that fixed. I think we'll go around the edge. We'll go up here. Whew. I'm at that early point in the walk where you're thinking, day off today, I could have just lain, had some eggs on toast for breakfast, watched a bit of telly, relaxed, walked around the town, grabbed a coffee somewhere. But you'll catch some views and you'll go, oh no, this was worth it. Totally worth it. House just down there, I think it was Nigel Mansell's. Maybe not that one, no, it's the one behind. It's further back. I've not turned the whole front of it, or back of it, whatever it is. All lit up on the hillside. Funny thing is, over that way in front of me now, you cross this water because we're on a kind of a peninsula. Across that water there, and I can see Gansey Beach and Balladool, and a little bit further on is Castletown. So I've walked straight from here. Probably wouldn't take that long, hour and a half maybe. It's not actually that far, but I'll be walking along roads. You won't get the views, sound of the birds, gentle breeze. So he says, onwards and upwards. I think this has got about 600 foot of climb on this path. don't know how accurate that is. It's only reading from someone else's blog. 11 miles, 600 feet climb. But loads of rabbits about. These rabbits are hares. They look like rabbits to me. Yeah, rabbits. Can't go that way, but you won't see them. You might see them bounce around a little bit. Oh. Is this going to be like a full summit? Am I going to be heading uphill again after this? It's funny how you can reach something that looks like the top. You go around the corner, it's a load more to climb. Oh. We're well above the water now though. The things we're looking out for: dolphins, of course, not necessarily moonlight and starlight are resident dolphins, but also you do get pods of dolphins, you get whales. At the moment we're kind of in season for the basking sharks as well, so keeping an eye out for shark fins in the water. I'm not seeing much at the moment, but it's exciting knowing it's out there, and you might glimpse it. My wife's seen the dolphins, I haven't yet. It's right place, right time sort of thing, but good to watch. Maybe we'll see a shadow in the water. I'm a massive fear of sharks. Basking sharks are completely sort of what they are, plankton, small fry kind of eaters, whatever. But still, I've been growing up in the time of Jaws, the movie. Probably watching it far too young. That deep water thing still scares me. Oh, this is nice. This is really nice. It's a very clear path as well. So once you get to the start of it, it's really easy to find your way. Honestly, hard to explain how amazing this all is when you see it with the naked eye rather than some video on YouTube. I mean, uploading 4K 30, so you get something a bit cinematic and it's pretty good definition, but honestly, from that to being here, no comparison really. I know I'm going down. If I'm going downhill, it means I'm going to have to come up it again, surely. So this Port Erin Castletown walk will take in firstly the Sound, which is one of the most southern points on the island. Actually, the true most southern point is on Langness. Can't remember the name of the spot, but so I think it's marketed as the southernmost point because it makes people feel it's good for marketing the Café and stuff like that, and people will travel there. There's not so much at Langness apart from the nature reserve, which is beautiful enough, but it's also really beautiful here. And you look out over the Calf of Man, which is an island off the South of Man, part of the Isle of Man, but a little island which is entirety a nature reserve. And there's wardens on there who do counts and bird counts and things like that, and studies and that sort of thing. Beautiful. You can do boat trips over there and boat trips around it and stuff. Really worth it. And you have the Sound Café, which has, I'm not going to say it's cheap because it's not, but would you say value for money? I think what you're getting there is very high quality local produce. So it's a different kettle of fish than going for the cheapest out there. And but it's one of the most amazing positions on the island for a cafe. It may be the number one. I don't think I've been anywhere which has got quite, maybe on a good day up at Snaefell, it's pretty amazing. But this is special. The colour changes here throughout the year. Sound is open all year round, and you can come here in the winter and the colours are different, and what it takes is the sky to change, and you'll have blue seas, aquamarine, green, all sorts. It just changes. You can have one half the calf looking one colour and the other half another. So it's really special. Absolutely stunning. So, and the food in there. So I had some Manx Queenies in there, and it was just one of the most delicious things I've eaten. Really rich. You can still taste the Queenies, but loads of shallots and garlic and all sorts of other stuff in there, and the sauce, it was just absolutely ridiculous, with some crusty bread to dip in the sauce. It's yeah, recommend that if they've got that on the menu. And their cooked breakfasts are amazing as well. Just quality, absolute quality. And the same people have opened a new cafe restaurant in Castletown called Stanley's, and I would say, from what I've been hearing, obviously the same qualities come through there, and people are very happy with the kind of food and the quality of the food in Stanley's in Castletown. So get yourselves there, get yourselves to the Sound, get yourselves to Stanley's, and You know, got a couple of places at Brad Glen. Bit of a wedding venue, but has a cafe, and there's a few places which are just wonderful. But there's other good restaurants and cafes. Good food place there, really good food place, especially in the restaurants that are using local produce. I think that's something you need to look out for, actually, to see that they're actually using, because it's not just supporting the local economy. It's local produce hasn't had to travel so far. It's got less miles on it, which probably means it's not had to be preserved so much, and it's not like fresh produce is fresh. A bit of potato, I mean, even the milk over here. The milk over here is stunning. The milk and the cream and the cheese, Arnhem Creameries, just fantastic. But some of the meats and things are really, really good as well. Time's it. Oh, I suppose we're coming up for maybe, I mean, my stopwatch is saying half an hour, but I started a little bit earlier than that. But half an hour into the walk as such. It's coming up to 9:20. Muscles are beginning to warm up a bit, which is good. Don't think these trousers were the best choice. Slightly thicker. I probably should have gone for shorts. In fact, I definitely should have gone for shorts. I just find it much easier this time of year to regulate my temperature in shorts. Even if it rains, your legs dry off pretty quickly. And the weather here is kind of, you got a breeze. The weather forecast says it's going to be 15 degrees. It ends up actually being 22. You're in one place, you're in fog. Another place it's raining. Another place it's gloriously sunny. Another place it's windy. It's just that sort of place. Makes life interesting. I genuinely mean that. That's not a sarcasm thing. I remember having drizzle for days in London, it just feeling grim. Here you know, actually like now, look at it, glorious sunshine. Absolutely beautiful, pretty still. I didn't bring my drone with me because it said, the forecast said it was picking up, it was going to be so windy, but I could have absolutely flown around here, no problem. Oh well, could always drive back later, do a bit of droning. But yeah, just beautiful. And yet, we got a weather warning for this evening, for gales. Coastal overtopping, probably flooding, and you just wouldn't believe it. Some spots here I'd love to camp, but this is farmland, again, with kind of access via permission. So, what's that, a bird or a bit of something? Rabbit maybe? Ah, yeah. So you don't get, yeah, so I wouldn't camp here because without permission of the farmer. I do kind of know the farmers who do this land. But the trouble is, even if they know you, they give you permission, who else is going to ask for permission? And then how many other people are going to see someone camping there and go, oh, it must be okay to camp there, and copy you? You know, it's just not as simple as going, well, they know me, they know I'm not going to cause a mess. Of course they know I'm not going to cause a mess. Of course they know I'll be sensible and considerate and thoughtful and leave no trace and all the rest of that stuff. But the trouble is, the people who follow me, who see that someone's camped there or see my videos or, oh, you've got a crossing to make, look at this. It's not that much of a crossing. Ta-da! I'm sure we'll be fine. He says, it's such a tiny little muddy puddle. You can tell I slipped and fall face forward into it. Yeah, so other people won't be. Guarantee they won't be. You think everyone's got common sense. you can sit at home and go, wow, no, people don't generally look after. We're wild campers. We're all very careful about it. No, I've seen it. I've seen all the fire pits and the burnt grass and the leftover bottles and cans. It's lovely here. I can tell you what, you can see lots of the rabbits running through the ferns. I'm feeling like I might need to take this jacket off though. I wonder if I can take it off without taking everything else off. You know, like, this is going to sound really rude, but lots of people do. You know, women can take their bras off without taking their top off, right? It's not a weird thing. My wife's had to do it before. So, can I take my coat off without taking my kind of waist pack, shoulder straps, and my chest mounted rig for my camera? Otherwise it's a bit of a stop the video kind of thing. Start again in a minute. A few bits in my pockets as well, that's a pain. This isn't going to work, is it? What have I got in my pockets? Headphones, not a lot. I could just hang off the back of my pack. I've got a little bungee section on the back of this pack that I can, yeah, that's not going to work. Let's pause for a moment. Wasn't quite as clever as just slipping it off. I had to take my straps off, and then my bum bag was fanny pack type thing was hanging down. I thought that was going to fall off, and so there's no one here to watch me, so all right. A little sip of water. We'll work it out. There we go, got it in the pocket. It's kind of behind me. Interesting. One of the straps I've got that's behind my Nalgene bottle shouldn't be behind my Nalgene bottle. Maybe it should be like that. I don't know. Oh well, it's fairly comfortable. Right, that helped me cool down a bit. I've got a long sleeve thermal top on, or base layer on, so I've got a t-shirt on over the top of that. Plenty warm enough, but it's more about wicking off this moisture because I'm feeling a bit damp. Sorry, deafened you there. Just moving the mic. It's a bit more of a breeze now, and my jacket's come off when my base layer was a bit damp with sweat. Feels a bit chillier. That's all right though. We'll dry out and it'll get better. It's just where it's wicking the moisture off. if you're watching this and thinking, is he gonna not edit any of this down? I might have done. I might have edited some out. I might have put some music over the top. I might have removed some of the footage. But one of the things about my walks I try and do where I can is make it as real time as possible, because it's nice when people are kind of walking with me. So when I do prayer walks and walking with other people from the congregation and people perhaps on a particular journey, spiritual or otherwise, sometimes it's good to kind of spend actual quality time with people. So one of the things I do is when I'm chatting, talking, you're probably sitting there disagreeing what I'm saying, agreeing with what I'm saying, having your own point of view. And that's fine, isn't it? That's the point. But you're almost like you're having a conversation with me. And that's what I'm trying to do. So you can have your own thoughts on it. You can pop into the chat right now. You could say your own thing and say what you think. Give your own opinion. And that would be fine, wouldn't it? Yeah, part of this whole process is really, so some people said, oh, you don't have to show, I'm not going to keep going about people who make comments, but comments about how long the videos are or that I don't cut anything out, that is intentional. And actually, really, if it's not for you, don't watch it. You don't have to never watch any of my videos again, because I do a bit of variety, but maybe just not watch that one or skip forward. Brilliant on YouTube. You can actually watch things in faster speed, so you don't even have to watch it in normal time. You can put it times 2, times 3. So you can watch the whole walk in like half the time, if you wanted to. But the point is for people who perhaps never been here and were really interested, or perhaps have been here but haven't got the mobility to get around here. That could have been a shortcut, surely. I've gone the long way around, have I? Oh, well. Yeah. You get to walk along with me. And I think that's a nice thing. Tell you it's nice is that we're not that far from the sound now. I didn't think it would take me this little bit of time to get here. That's really good. And I imagine this kind of bit of the walk here is probably one of the hardest bits, because then we head down towards Port St Mary and we'll walk through along the coastal bit there, which is quite nice. I love all the places here. I love Laxey, I love Peel, I love Ramsey, I love Port Erin. Of course, I love Castletown. Castletown is the best town on the island. No arguments there. You know it is. You can say what you like. Castletown is the best. Way over Douglas. I mean, it's the ancient capital. It's got the best preserved castle in Europe or something. I don't know. The castle's amazing. And it's just an amazing parish. Arbury and Castletown, fantastic. So there's a little bit of tongue-in-cheek there. I love Castletown, but I know it'll upset a load of people and they'll probably make lots of comments about how their town is better. How Douglas or Ramsey or Peel or Port Erin or Port St Mary or wherever it is that you are, Laxey is better. But hey. And I have no idea what I was talking about now, which is completely classic me. So one of the things is I'm an external processor. I'm very self-aware, by the way. So I'm an external processor. So what happens is I tend to process, well, as it sounds, but I process my thinking outside of my head. So my most comfortable way of doing that is to talk out loud. So I am aware of it, so I can rein it in when I'm in meetings, so I'm not constantly saying stuff that's mad, that's completely nuts, and going, oh, I haven't actually thought it through, and the internal processors or different people are going, you what? We can't do that. And I'm just not actually thinking that, I'm just thinking out loud so I can process that thought. Does make me a good speaker, if you like. Because I can, you've seen it on these videos. Most of them are unedited, and hears me talking for an hour or 2 hours. every week. Crazy. So anyway, what I might do with this whole process, so I've got this walk to the Sound, then Port St Mary, and then along Gancy and to Castletown, along through Scarlet. So quite possibly, oh, look at that. Oh, beautiful. I might break it up into sort of the walk to the Sound, the walk to Port St Mary, and the walk from Port St Mary to Castletown, if I can manage it. Which I'm warming up now, so I think I will. Things that will stop me will be battery, but I've got a battery pack with me. I've also got my phone with me. I don't know how I'd mount it to here, I can't, but I do have a phone with me. I'll get a notification offshore to say welcome to the United Kingdom, even though I'm nowhere near. Actually, on the Sound, at the Sound. Thankfully I've got some roaming, but I think I've got my international roaming data switched off. I usually keep it switched off even though I've got roaming. I've had too many big bills from my kids who've gone, oh, sorry. One came back in 1 month. My normal bill was about £100. I've got a bill for £270 because even though I'd said not to, they had used data and ignored those messages that say, don't use any more data, you're going to be charged for it. And they kind of ignored those messages from the provider. And it was like, oh, okay, thanks. Who paid for it? Me! Of course. You have to be a little bit careful, don't you, when you're travelling with data. And the Isle of Man is considered a roaming country, so be careful if you come over here. Likely it is your phone will work. There's certain networks where you can get away with roaming here for nothing, or it treats it like the UK. I think 3 Network used to be at least one of them, but even people change their contracts or get new contracts, and one person on 3 will be able to get it, and another person, they'll be charged. So yeah, just be careful with mobile phones and roaming here. Oh. I don't know if you've seen those TikTok. There's something about remembering why we did this, or remembering what we're here for, or something like that. And it's whole point is that we're not. Oh, these are beautiful. I'm gonna bring you in close that I can, because I've got a special release button. I can take the camera off. Look at those. Aren't they just fantastic? Oh man, so pretty. Look at that. 8% left on the battery handle. That's fine. So I have a thought that I might be able to continue using the camera and be charging the battery handle using the battery pack. In the meantime, it should work. So I can do the whole trip, because that'll be the only thing that stops me filming the whole thing really. Will be, I've got an extra battery pack for my phone, a separate magnetic one. So I'm kind of covered, he says. We'll see. Oh, with my car breakdown, my tracking poles are in the boot of the car along, and in the door handle, door card is my door pocket is my my selfie stick stroke tripod. So that's a bit of a pain. Oh, there's loads of wascally wabbits about. See, just up here over this wall, if you could camp there, that would be spot on. It's flat, you've got beautiful views. Can't do it, won't do it. Over here might not be so bad because you're well away from the, you're on the trail less. Yeah, that might work. Very cliff edgy though, so my wife would go, nope. Because there's a patch there, down there, you can see it. That looks perfect down there, quite flat. But I do imagine my wife going, you're not camping there. Oh, actually, who knows? She might go, yeah, sure, go ahead. Now, do I go along this lower track, which looks like a track? There's no sign here. Do I stay high and hope that it drops down? This is like one of those things on the adventure stories or movies or whatever, where you've got, look, you've got the high trail there or the low trail there. And I mean, the low trail looks really interesting, but may just come to a dead end, or I might go down there and have to climb all the way back up again. The high trail looks fine, but that might lead me in completely the wrong direction. So which way do you go? I think we're going to go low trail. Ah, what's that song? Is it I'll take the high road? I'll take the high road and you take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland before ye. I can't do accents, by the way. Something like that. See, this is the thing. I know I'm going to get nice and then get to the other end of this. It's going to be like some really steep trek to get back up the top. Now, again, this is interesting. So it's not too bad down there. It's not really a space to camp, but it'd be a good place to do a brew sometime, because I like kind of the shelter that you get with the view still. Whew. Cow pat and sheep poo. Very strong sheep. Definitely sheep. Of course it would be around here. I suppose the cows will be heading down this way, but you never know. I don't mind that smell though. As I've said before, in the countryside, can't complain about the smells of cow, horse and sheep. Excrement. And silage and stuff like that. It never bothered me. Maybe it did when I was a kid, but probably because we'd be driving on like holidays and stuff, and the windows would be open, and you get hit of the muck spreader or something. You go past some fields in the countryside, and everyone in the car would react, wouldn't they? Closing up the windows, covering their mouths and stuff. But these days, deep breath, it's just sweet. It doesn't smell like human stuff, poop. Like the fresh scent, sweet, partially digested grass. I'm so weird. Oh, I'm in the shade now. Nice to cool down a bit. Every now and again, I just check that my camera's running, because otherwise I've been talking to myself for like half an hour, and no one would have been able to be watching. It's fun. See, this looks like it was the wrong way. Any dolphins, any sharks? No? No? All right. This might be an old track. I might have meant to have stayed high, but I could have checked the map, couldn't I? Could have gone on my phone, could have done, I've got the book in my pocket, could have done all sorts, but I didn't. I thought I'd explore instead. And the path's getting narrower. It's definitely quite an interesting little path though. Oh. Sheep, do you have to poop every 5-6 inches though? For goodness sake. Oh. Okay. This is getting a little narrower. Is there a path around this corner? Oh, it looks like there's a path. But it's just a little... Oh, look! We've actually got... I have to show you. So it's screwed into the rock. We have a little thing that says, yeah, this is the path. It's not too bad. Just kind of interesting. I'm wearing my barefoot walking boots, my Vivo Barefoot Magnus. Oh, I just noticed because I just stood on the rock and I felt every bit of that rock. But my Magnus Forest ESCs, they're kind of a bit more lightweight for summer. I have got my Nordic socks on though, so they're a bit warm. Not my Danish endurance, I didn't have any, they were out the wash as far as I could see, so I couldn't put them on, but they might be, they're not too thick. They're quite warm, but they're good sort of temperature regulating socks because they're, what's it called? That wool. Begins with them. Come on in the chat. Whatever that wool is, it's pretty good for temperature regulation. I've actually got a buff in my pocket for that as well, in case it did get cold. I mean, the weather could change really quickly. It's looking good at the moment. I think I chose the right path. This is way more interesting. I'd gone the top path, it would have been nowhere near as fun as this. Amazing. Yeah, I was saying about those TikToks and stuff about remembering why you did this, remember why. So been getting out a bit more and doing some fun stuff. Oh, they're rabbits, or wascally rabbits. Making sure I'm getting out and doing the walking, getting the fresh air, taking the car out when it's running, setting up. Yeah, to kind of make the most of where we are, because it's very easy to get into the day-to-day and the work that you usually do and forget one of the reasons you moved here is because you spent all your spare time or your holidays traveling to places like Wales, so you could go to places just like this for your holidays, and actually you can live somewhere like the Isle of Man. So Port Erin's 5 minutes away. My wife works there, so she dropped me off this morning about 8:15, and now I can walk home, and this is my walk home. The long walk, going the long way. No, there is a lower route there, but I imagine that probably will take you onto this little, can't really see, can you? There we go. Path down that way, but I think it just takes you on that little peninsula there and probably back up again. So I think what we'll do is we'll carry on this way, which is a little bit higher up. So we're taking the high road this time instead of the low road. A bit flatter. Ooh. Beautiful. All my sheepy friends are there. Hello. Watch these crows. Sheep do get attacked by some of these wild birds. They're quite nasty. Here we are coming to the Calf of Man. Stunning. Just beautiful. Oh, I keep saying the same old words, don't I? But it's just an inspiring sight. It's just it sometimes looks like it's a cardboard cutout because it doesn't look real. The way it kind of leans up on this side, you've got this almost feels flat. And you've got this little strait of water here where there's been wrecks as well. But you'll see like the water tends to meet at the southerly point, not southernmost, but southerly point. Like the water either side of the island kind of meets in the middle. So you often get like almost like a line going across. It's absolutely amazing. Hello, sheep. Beautiful. Thinking it's probably taking me about an hour and a bit to get here. I'm wondering whether this will make like the perfect sort of cut-off point for part one, if you like. I'll probably record a couple of like thank you for joining me. If you'd like to see more of this walk, join me in part two type stuff. Got to be done, really, isn't it? Yeah. Well, what's you saying? What's you saying? An hour to get from Port Erin to the Sound. So I'd say it's a little bit more than that because I didn't start the timer straight away, but I don't think it's far off. Let's see how busy the Sound Cafe is. Might not be too bad because it's just coming up for 10. Oh. Thank you.
It's 2 weeks.
Wonderful. Yeah, I was mentioning about they've got these. I've got my Vivo barefoot. I'm kind of working on. I want to get some more barefoot shoes for wearing generally. I've got a pair. They are bright orange. They're really cool, but they're bright orange, and I can't always wear them. I want a pair of black ones for smarter use. So I've been wearing like hobby bear ones, and they're actually all right, you know. So they've got some trail runners that I'm quite interested in. I don't know how good the trail runners are, but there's not a lot to it, is there? If it's got a grippy sole, it's kind of, there's less to kind of technically go wrong or be bad about the shoes. Just give you a little whip round, a view down here, which is just beautiful. Every time I say beautiful, don't I? Can't help it, sorry. Yeah, it's a Calf of Man. There's a name for the island in the middle. I could look it up for you in a minute, but I'm not a history teacher. I'm not a geography teacher. I tend to just go, isn't this beautiful? Let's walk. Isn't this nice? There'll be a bit more, perhaps a bit more reflection going on in a bit because I'll probably part two. I've got a couple of big things that are quite serious to talk about. It's been quite a troubling few days on the island with a young man's life being taken, 14-year-old. That's really sad, and we've been supporting a little bit the family ourselves, and there'll be I've got sheep poo on me. Who would have thought it, eh? and it will wear off and wash off, be fine. Yes, so this is the sound. Over here we have the Sound Cafe, and be time to have a cup of coffee and something to eat, maybe a bit of cake. So here we go. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll call this part 1. He says, I'm recording this separately because it might end up being one video, but I'm going to pop into the Sound Cafe, grab a drink, maybe something to eat, and then part 2 I'll be getting on my way from the Sound towards Port St Mary. Catch you in a bit. Bye bye. Can't do that, can I? I've got to say the bit in case it's the end of the video. So take care of yourselves. More importantly, take care of each other. God bless. And I'll see you in part 2. Bye bye.